Yes! What's up, guys? Your boy United Empire back here with another video, and today's video is going to be Brighton vs Manchester United 3-2 victory for United, man. Um, Player ratings. What a result. Not really what a result, but what a moment. This match is not a match; it's a moment. This match is all based on that one moment. You feel me? Um, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we played horrible. Not horrible, but we didn't perform once more. But I say this today we played better than in the Palace game, and I think, you know, um, of course, I did release my Premier League predictions for Game 3, and you know, um, I'm recording this after the Everton game, and I was sort of correct that both teams would win, but I was incorrect in terms of the result. But we take it one step at a time, and this week we're gonna get the signings that we need. Probably, most likely, could be getting Alex Tellers and Sancho, maybe Traore. But what a result for us today, and it's the ratings United 3-2 to Brighton. First up, we're gonna start with the defense. Let's just get into this quickly. Wait, hold on. I apologize, but I would really appreciate it if you guys could please subscribe, like the video, and please turn on your notification bells if you are subscribed, so you won't have to miss a video from me. The notification is the bell next to subscription, so just in case you didn't know. Start off with the defense. Oops, sorry, compress it. David De Gea, 7.5 for me. You know, um, from to be honest, he's more closer to a 7 than an 8. But another great performance. Not gonna lie, I think we seeing the old hair, because the hair has been, since the internationals, the World Cup, he's performing since internationals, the World Cup, he was performing badly, and then in an international game against was it Germany, he performed, and the game afterwards, he performed, and I think getting back the old hair, it's just that the defense, apart from the goalkeeper, the defense is the real problem, and I think I think we getting that sort of I'm getting that sort of vibes that we could begin the old area, and if it depending on how the goals we concede is, depending on the goals we concede, I think that the we I think the day is going to really need to be tested, especially for the Tottenham game coming up. I think that it's going to be it's going to need to be tested, like he's going to need to be up on his game, up his game, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just so excited. I'm just so happy at the moment. But De Gea, I'm getting the old vibes back, and I think that once again the defense is letting him down, and he's not able to keep a clean sheet. But I think none of the goals are his fault. The first goal, it was a penalty. It's a 50-50. It's either you win or lose, and then this third goal, the second goal, we scored the third goal. The second goal, I think that's, United's Wan-Bissaka should have done better there. So, none of the goals are his fault, but maybe he could have at least made an attempt to try and stop it, but yeah. But then we move on to the main man, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. As you can see, his rating, he's getting a 2. A solid 2, it's differentiating between a 1.5 or 2, because I wasn't sure in terms of performance. He just played bad, just bad. Just I can't even find a positive, Maybe a positive for him is that he showed up, I'm frustrated with him, but I shouldn't be too upset, This man hasn't really gotten a proper break, what's he was hardly on Ibiza, and he got a 14, had to stay indoors for 14 days. That's not a break. Like a break is like a proper at least 2 months or so, or month. A proper full month. We United players haven't gotten a break, and that's why I think we need to scrape wins in that. But I think that if we can sign Sancho and Tillers, and you see, yeah, and actually play Donny van de Beek and just not play Pogba and put him on the bench. Pogba will be a good bench player. I think that at the moment, of course, I think that we will um, breeze past Tottenham because if you have that, because having Van der Beek, Tellers, and of course, I don't think Tellers is gonna take if he signs for United. I don't think he's going to take Luke Shaw's place just yet. And Luke Shaw being injured in the remaining games of the season, I think he had more risk. I'm not gonna say more risk because he was injured. So I'd say the amount of risk that they had was equal, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I think that having Sancho in the attack, Taylor's at the back, Donny van der Beek in the midfield, they all re-energized, they're all fresh. They can bring that spark into every position. So and in every third of the field. So I think that's the case there. But yeah, performed crap and there's not much I could say. He was out of position and yeah, blah blah blah. He was bad. Then we move on towards the right centre back, Victor Lindelof, a 4.5. He wasn't any good offensively, like his partner, Harry Maguire, and defensively, I'm not gonna lie, defensively he wasn't bad, but he did, it's a case of, I'm scared, I don't, at the moment, I don't believe that you can even a shot from the goalkeeper from his box, I can still get worried about that because he's that's how frightening he is. When he's at the back and you see someone attacking him, it's just scary. But 4.5, he didn't do much that really made a difference into the game. And yeah, and oh, sorry, and there's really not much I could say. And I think he should have helped, maybe help Wan-Bissaka because whenever Wan-Bissaka had to defend a man, I think um even Mason Greenwood, I think it's not his job to come back, Mason Greenwood, but maybe just assist Wan-Bissaka because Wan-Bissaka has been playing non-stop, to be honest, especially in the league. So yeah, 4.5. There's not really much I could do about that. He didn't have an average game, and he performed. For me, he performed under the expectations for a centre back. Of his a centre back who plays for United. I think he performed under expectations. No, no, I mean sorry, he performed under the expectations of a Manchester United defender, not under our expectations, because Crystal Palace. The next up, Captain Fantastic Harry Maguire, um, man behind the bars. What a game for it. I'm not gonna say what a game. Defensively, he was the same as Lindelof, but I think better because he kept on hitting. If you notice, he kept on hitting the ball outs. That's why we kind of signed him for and to hit the ball well. But yeah, Harry Maguire offensively, offensively I think he made more of a difference. Don't hate me on this, but I think offensively he made more of a difference than both than the entire front three because he got this. He was part. I think he was part of. I'm not gonna say he scored the goal because it was an own goal, but the if it wasn't Dunk, it would have been his goal. And I think that wouldn't have been a goal if that wouldn't have been a goal if Dunk actually dived. You know what I mean? Because Harry Maguire did actually kick the didn't really kick the ball. He kicked Dunk's foot and the ball went to the back of the net. But yeah, he also got us the penalty. So you know, offensively he was great, and he was part of the main, just the pinnacle points in United's victory over Palace today. Then move on to the left back, Luke Shaw. For me, also gets a 6.5. Offensively, better. Offensively he was great. He's better than on that left side. He was the best, in terms of between him and Marcus Rashford, and that shouldn't be the case where your left back is better offensively than your left wing. But Marcus Rashford, just needs to gain a bit more confidence, and that. And yeah, you know, um, well played by Luke Shaw, but defensively he was owned by was Lamptey. Yeah, Lamptey was all over him. If there's a point that Bruno shouldn't have fouled Lamptey in the box. Why? Because he shouldn't have been in that position. It should have been Luke Shaw in that position. And I think because Luke Shaw is more defensive minded than Bruno Fernandes, he could have tried at least closing off Lamptey. So Bruno Fernandes, he shouldn't be blamed for. He should be blamed, because he did concede the penalty, but he did give away the penalty. But I don't think that he should be blamed for that penalty because that should be Luke Shaw's job. And you see that was a problem in the game. The fullbacks, whenever they attacked, they couldn't get back into their positions in time. And I think that's what United also need to work on. The positional play. I know it's nice for the forwards to swap around, but that's the only players who should be out of position. The forwards, the front three, and maybe the midfield, in terms of Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. So, but the defense should not swap at all. You know what I mean? But yeah, up next, the midfield, the main Matic for me gets a 7. You can clearly see the difference between him and Scott McTominay. And for me personally, he got the assist for the first goal and was, Nemanja Matic is a we practically do have a back five because without Nemanja Matic, the defense is horrible. In terms of the two centre backs, but Nemanja Matic brings a stability in our defense, even though our defense is still a couple of clowns at times. You know what I mean? So then there's that. And, he just had a great game overall. What you expect from a player of Matic's quality, and I think he's one of the best in CDMs. DMs in the Premier League at the moment. Yeah. And then moving on to Paul Pogba, 3.5 for me. To be honest, for me, in my opinion, it's all his fault. He shouldn't have started. It's all his fault. He shouldn't have started Paul Pogba in the first place, and he should have taken him off Pogba because you could see Pogba. He misplaced passes, but it could have been a 3, but I gave him a 3.5. Because he's holding up the ball was better than I think that was his best attribute in that game. And maybe his heading, he didn't lose an aerial duel to anyone. So, maybe that's positives you can take out of his game. But yeah, I think against Tottenham, maybe you have to bench him, You have to bench Pogba and play Van de Beek. So yeah, I think Arle's playing Pogba because he's scared of taking off the big players, the big name players. And I think Pogba is eager to play, because he hardly played last season. So yeah, and he recently had COVID-19, So I think if he hadn't, this is only my opinion. If he hadn't had COVID-19, we would have seen a different Pogba today, someone who's performing because he hardly played last season. So there's that. Moving on to man of the match, in my opinion, Bruno Fernandes gets an 8. Offensively, he played, except for that one where he could have played to Martial, the one he tried to play to Martial, which is blocked off. I think he played well, whenever the front three needed him, whenever the front three needed to make a pass, he was there, Defensively, he was, sort of as good as our defenders, and that shouldn't be the case for an attacking midfielder. And yeah, he was just great, The, the penalty was, that penalty, it was just great, It's, you compare that penalty to, that penalty gave me, memories, a bit of a flashback of Raheem Sterling in that final. Was it the final? Yeah, the final against Wolves, where he missed a penalty. He tried to go for that top corner, the top right corner, in terms of the goalkeepers. No, in terms of our point of view, he tried to go for that top corner, but he missed. But and Bruno scored. That just gave me flashbacks. You know what I mean? But Bruno Fernandes, I think he's vice captain, I think Ole has made him vice captain or something, I think that, but what a game he's had, and what a beautiful specimen in terms of his footballing skills, and yeah. Forwards, sorry, ignore that. That's my sister. Um, sorry. And then forwards, Marcus Rashford, given 6.5. It would have been a 7, but Marcus, he compared to Bruno Fernandes, Bruno Fernandes, when he lost position, he ran for the ball. Marcus Rashford for most of that game standing still, um, and had, he had an average game because the link up play between him and the other attackers were good. Between him and Luke Shaw was sort of good. The goal was fantastic, and yeah, but he's not getting a 7 from me just because the fact that he was sort of playing lazy in that game. He was quite lazy to be honest. But yeah, next up, Anthony Martial gets a 6 from me. Hold up play was great. If Rashford, wasn't offside, he would have gotten an assist, an assist or two, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah, hold up play was great. Flair was, great as usual, and his link up play was also great. His link up play was fantastic, and that's, you know, Martial is not really a number 9. He's more or less of a false slash winger 9. You know what I mean? A false 9. You know what I mean? But yeah, I can say a great game for Martial. Because he didn't really get a proper opportunity to score because the players weren't feeding him as much. But you know, as as a player who you want to see make a difference in the team, I think he did make it a sort of difference. They move on towards Mason Greenwood gets a 5.5. He didn't really do much. I think Mason Greenwood could have had opportunities to score. There's one opportunity we shouldn't have cut back, but overall, overall, it was great. Sort of, you just had an average game, but not that much of an average game. Then we move on to substitutions. I'm not gonna lie, all the subs, Fred, Eric Bailly, and Donny van de Beek all get a 5.5, but Donny van de Beek, I'm not sure. I was tempted to give him a 6 because he did get a corner. He did manage to keep the ball in and managed to get the corner by taking the deflection of the player. So yeah, overall United had a bad game to be honest in terms of the standards that we have seen them play at, but a great game, a great game in terms of the moment. It's like it reminds me of Paris. Paris was a great moment. And this just reminds me of it because the last minute penalty. But we shouldn't be winning games against teams like Brighton. Sorry guys, if you can't hear, my family's making a bit of a noise. But yeah, Brighton, a team like Brighton, we shouldn't have been having to beat them by a penalty, a last minute penalty. So yeah, next game against Tottenham. I'm gonna leave my Premier League predictions after this game week, and I feel like United are gonna beat Tottenham. In my Premier League predictions, you'll see I'll mostly, you know, because it's more of a biased point of view, but I think United are gonna beat Tottenham in our next game, and if Ole gets the if Ole gets Sancho, Tellers, and then you can't really blame the board. You also be able to blame the board, because they got the signings late in that. But in terms of this game, if Sancho, you know, players shouldn't really have to gel because of matches that they play. I think they need to. I think more of the gelling comes from the training. They need to from the training courses and all of that because I think that's where the chemistry is, and then that chemistry can be displayed off on the field. So yeah, if Sancho, Telles, Troy, those players coming, Troy's probably gonna be like in our youth academy or something. But yeah, if those players come in and if those players come in, I think that we should breeze past Tottenham. Not by a high margin, but we should beat Tottenham. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please, I appreciate if you can like and subscribe, and yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, and I mean evening, yeah, and weekend, and see you on the flip side.